President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. Traoré the gladiator. Ibrahim Traoré the wrestler. Son of black people. Son of Africa. Africa, land of the gods. The immortals. The name. Africa is the name of the biggest continent on planet Earth. In fact, Africa is a distortion of the Luo word Iberio. Iberio means seven. Africa. Iberio. Iberio. Seven. Seven. Why was that continent given the name Iberio? According to Luo ancestors, planet Earth is only one of the many newly formed planets which are found in our solar system. Luo mythology enables us to know that, while mankind were on their planet which is somewhere in a faraway solar system, some of them decided to go and inhabit a new planet. A green planet which, like many others, they were able to see through powerful telescopes, greatly interested them. To that green planet they gave the name ATHO. That is what is today called Earth. What does ATHO mean? ATHO is a Luo word. It means a living thing, perishable. Obviously, in our solar system, only planet Earth is a living thing. Indeed, planet Earth is a living organism and human beings etc. are only miniatures of planet Earth. It has got a nucleus called magma. It has got water etc. It is alive and intelligent. That is why the ancestors called it ATHO, Earth. Earth. Echo. Echo. I am perishable. I am a living thing. THO, to die, to perish, dies, die. THO, death. Notice, all the names of planets etc. are in Doluo, the language of the Luo, and were given by black ancestors. Those ancestors were Luo. That is a fact which African peoples must preserve. While on their planet, which is in a faraway solar system, the ancestors decided to visit newly formed planets. Among millions and billions or trillions of other such planets, they saw planet Earth. It was fresh, uninhabited and, therefore, could be made to become an ideal holiday resort for mankind. Thus, originally, mankind did not have the intention to settle on planet Earth. That lack of interest was coming from the fact that the planet on which mankind was living at that time was thousands of times the size of planet Earth. It was even greener than planet Earth and contained immeasurable amounts of precious natural resources. Therefore, mankind's interest in visiting planet Earth was simply to transform it into a holiday resort. One of the many tiny planets in space where, later, mankind would be coming to spend their holidays. Through telescopes, mankind observed and concluded that, somewhere in space, there was a small planet which was very green. On it was an immense continent which was shaped like the number 7, 7. So, they named it Iberio. Besides, it ought to be mentioned, for the sake of knowledge and conservation of Africa's history and mythology, that the people who are mentioned above were black. They were known as Luo. In fact, the Luo are a black people of ancient Egypt. Their language is Doluo. Doluo is the language in which hieroglyphics which are on walls of ancient monuments in Egypt, as well as on many parchments, were written by the Luo. Moreover, Obama, the father of Barack Obama, the former president of America, was Luo. I am Luo. I speak and write Doluo excellently. The connection. What is the connection between Ibrahim Traoré and the arrival of black ancestors on planet Earth? Here is the answer. According to African cosmogony and cosmology, President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso is considered to be a reincarnation of black ancestors. Certainly, the name Ibrahim is, in reality, the Luo word Iberio which has been written in a different way. Indeed, Ibrahim or Abraham are both distortions of the Luo word Iberio. Therefore, it must be proclaimed that President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso is Africa itself. As mentioned above, Ibrahim or Abraham is a distortion of the Luo word Iberio. Of course, it is the name which black ancestors gave to the biggest continent on planet Earth long before they came to live on it. Africa. Iberio, which is the Luo word for the number 7. A number which is shaped like the black continent called Africa, Iberio. Africa, the homeland of black ancestors. Ibrahim Traoré the Pharaoh, son of Africa, liberator of enslaved peoples and countries. Of him the ancestors said, "A liberator shall be born to the African continent and he shall bring back freedom." He shall liberate Africa from imperialism and colonialism. He shall defend and protect Africa's sovereignty. Hippopotamus. Ibrahim Traoré the hippopotamus. In Africa, a hippopotamus is an animal which is immensely venerated. It lives inside lakes and rivers and, at times, goes out on land to graze. Inside water, a hippopotamus watches over those of its kind. In case any invader approaches its spaces, the hippopotamus fights. A ferocious fight. With its heavy weight, the hippopotamus crushes the enemy. Then, with its wide, very strong jaws, big and sharp teeth, the hippopotamus tears down its adversary to pieces. Who on planet Earth does not know that, just like an elephant, a hippopotamus is a herbivorous animal? It is said that herbivorous animals live for more than 800 years. Tortoises are also herbivorous and, according to African ancestors, live for almost 1,000 years. Contrarily, carnivorous animals do not live for long. According to African ancestors, mankind never used to eat meat. Consumption of meat, by mankind, started only a few thousands of years ago. That is what African ancestors used to affirm. Moreover, they asserted that the genetic transfer of animal genes occurs through the consumption of animal flesh, butter, or milk. Then cell mutations take place in mankind. In other words, the consumption of meat and other animal products causes obesity, cancer, Alzheimer, dementia etc. in mankind and reduces lifespan. That is what African ancestors used to say. Always, a hippopotamus is very concerned about the security and well-being of its clan. Therefore, it constantly and very keenly ensures that, at all times, there is plenty of food, and other necessities, for other hippopotamus. In the Luo world, it is said that a hippopotamus is a reincarnation of the ancestors. Consequently, its flesh cannot be eaten. In fact, hippopotamus live in groups which are composed of a male, its many wives and many children. The father gives security to its family and other members of the clan. If it happens that another male approaches one of its wives or becomes a security threat to any of its little ones, a hippopotamus will not hesitate to fight and completely destroy that enemy. In this regard, Luo ancestors said that if ever it happened that Africa was invaded, and/or African peoples were subjugated by imperialists, then there was no doubt that the ancestors would, in such a dire situation, reincarnate. Exactly, the ancestors would resurrect. Definitely, the ancestors would come back, to save African peoples, as well as liberate Africa, from imperialism and colonialism. Ibrahim Traoré is a reincarnation of African ancestors. Ibrahim Traoré, the grandson of African ancestors, is a reincarnation of the ancestors. He is a hippopotamus. He has liberated Africa and is now transforming that continent from an impoverished world to a prosperous one. He is doing so by industrializing Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traoré is changing Africa by creating an African economy. An economy which is independent from imperial and colonial powers. Centuries of slave trade, colonialism and religious psychological manipulation have, finally, come to an end. Did the Roman Empire not last thousands of years and finally crumble? Of course it did so. Therefore, African peoples must know that, today, that is exactly what is also happening to the Zionist one-world government dictatorship. It is a fact that, finally, that satanical unipolar world has reached its end. Henceforth, Africa must not look back. Imperialists and colonizers may think that they can cheat Africa into accepting to enter into new deals with them. Obviously, they believe that they can still use deception to enslave and, indeed, recolonize African peoples and countries. Perhaps, they do not notice that, on the contrary, their deception is only turning against them, and destroying them as well as their satanical empire. Imperialism is Zionism. Zionism is Freemasonry. Freemasonry is slave trade and slavery. Therefore, Africa must become fully aware of the fact that a deal with imperialists is an acceptance to be enslaved again by imperialists. An approval to be colonized again by imperialists. Next, African peoples and countries must remember that when the Roman Empire fell, all other countries walked away from it and have never looked back. President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has proved to the world that Africans are capable of managing the affairs of their own continent. President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso has changed the world. He has shown that black people are capable of managing the affairs of their own ancestral homeland, which, of course, is none other than Africa. African peoples do not want imperialists to recolonize Africa. Imperialism is Zionism. Zionism is slave trade and slavery. Imperialism is the one world government dictatorship. Imperialists want to recolonize Africa. However, African peoples and countries shall defend and protect Africa's sovereignty. Africa, the land of pyramids. Africa, the land of mathematics. Africa, the land of hieroglyphics. Land of ancient advanced sciences. Africa, the land of unfathomable ancient knowledge.